Homing bracket!
What's going on, everyone? So welcome to my latest video. This, of course, my review for the 2021 drama movie, which is in theaters and also currently streaming on Amazon Prime, Being the Ricardos. So Being the Ricardos is a movie that, honestly, I was very much so looking forward to. I had no idea that it was coming out this year, though, truth be told. I thought it was coming out next year. Like, I didn't know that it was in production, that it finished so quickly. But this is a movie that's obviously directed by Aaron Sorkin and written by him. And for those of you that don't know, Aaron Sorkin, I'm a huge fan of. I love his writing. I absolutely love it. His writing for Moneyball, Social Network, Steve Jobs, Molly's Game, the list goes on. He is a consistently great writer. I love that snappy dialogue, that banter that he brings about. It's truly something special to behold. And then I also love Nicole Kidman. I think she's an incredible actress. And I was very curious to see her playing Lucille Ball. Javier Bardem, I'm a huge fan of, and him playing Desi Arnaz was something that, I'm not going to lie, I was kind of questioning, because I do love him as an actor. But look, I grew up watching the show I Love Lucy. I did. This is obviously a movie that's based on the events that occurred a little bit after that, like before, after that. It's all over. I'll get into that in a little bit. But so me having that personal connection of watching I Love Lucy's show growing up, like, I watched it many, many times. You can ask any of my really close friends. This was a staple in my household. This, Andy Griffith Show, and Gomer Pyle. This was something that I am very, very familiar with. And same with the behind the scenes. Although I can't lie, I did not know that she was accused of a communist. Although, truth be told, given my household, it makes sense as to why that was kind of like brushed aside. But anyways, that's hearsay, they were saying. But Being the Ricardos, what did I think about this movie overall? To be honest, I was kind of disappointed by it. I thought that it was a missed opportunity. I liked the acting. I did like Nicole Kidman. She was incredible as Lucille Ball. I think she nailed the role, honestly. Could definitely see her getting an Oscar nomination. Javier Bardem, I do think there is some things in me that kind of say they should have casted someone else, because Desi Arnaz did not look that jacked. But the other part of me does think that Javier Bardem did a pretty good job, but definitely not even close to Nicole Kidman's, height of being like, oh my goodness, she did such a great job of perfecting the role. The makeup for both of them is incredible, though. I will say the makeup is definitely something I could see get an Oscar nomination. I liked the first act. The first act introduces us to these characters, and it gives us kind of like a play-by-play on like how they would do the writing room process and like preparation for the episodes. I liked that. Unfortunately, I'm just going to cut to the chase. Despite that strong first act, despite the acting, a really good costume design and witty dialogue early on, this is a movie that flatlined after that first act. It started doing too much in too little time. It's like, if you want to focus on their entire life and all these things, you want to do a TV miniseries. Otherwise, it's just going to come out like this, which is a paper-thin movie. The dialogue, surprisingly, was not that interesting after the first act. I became less and less engaged as the movie progressed. And I hate saying that because, again, of how big of a fan I am of all the actors, of the writer, and of the material. But I gotta say, it is very weak. The themes and messages, they kind of fall flat. There's not much to them. You don't really understand 100% what they're trying to say, because, again, it's so scattershot with everything that they're trying to depict. On top of that, the cinematography early on, again, is pretty strong, but as the movie progressed, it just wasn't that interesting. It didn't keep me engaged. And then the score is also very forgettable. So these are all aspects for me personally, like, really have an impact on a movie, like especially score and especially cinematography. The length was also an issue. Like I just mentioned about how they're trying to do too much in too little time. But the other issue is that you feel the length. And you shouldn't feel the length because it's focusing on so much material. But because we as audience members kind of feel as though the material is kind of weighing thin, and because it's so one-dimensional, we feel that length, unfortunately. I think that they should have focused on maybe the writing process, maybe that little bit of time, but they're just going all over the place. And on top of that, something else I forgot to mention, speaking of all over the place, this review is kind of like that. The other thing I forgot to mention is that they will have it where they're talking about, in the present day, they're talking about the events that ensued, and then we're seeing those events ensue in the past. And then on top of that, those past events are talking about stuff that happened prior, and then we visually see that and hear them talking about it during that said event. And I'm like, guys, this is just too much dialogue. I love Aaron Sorkin, but this is just too much. Like too much spoon feeding. Like, either say it once or just visually show it. Don't show it 3 times. Anyways, being the Ricardos, for me personally, I was a bit disappointed. It's not a bad movie by any means, by any shape of the imagination. It's just a movie that made me feel kind of wanting a bit more. But yeah, I'm just gonna cut to the chase. Being the Ricardos, I personally will be giving a 2.5 out of 5 star rating. So yeah, doesn't get a hot sauce rating. But yeah, guys, being the Ricardos, did you like it? Did you not? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. I am curious, and especially from other people that are kind of like myself that grew up watching I Love Lucy show on repeat. Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, click the subscription, notification bell, and I'll catch you guys later. One other thing I forgot to mention, I'll get into an update channel video as to why I'm doing this review in the car, but that will probably be out later this week.